Hello, it's Wouter at Retrofitlab again, and in this video I will show you our latest Kawasaki Z900 kit. This will replace the original halogen reflector. With the bracket you'll have two bi-xenon projectors, so it will be not only a completely different look of the headlight, but the light output will also be a massive difference. So in this video I'll show you how to mount this kit inside of the headlight. So I have here the Z900 headlight. We already opened it. If you'd like to see how to open a headlight, we have plenty of videos on our YouTube channel. You can check the Z1000 headlight, for example, the video, for example. So you just need to heat up the headlight, so this butyl sealant, it will become soft. Then you can take it off. It's quite easy. Then you will see this. This is the original reflector. It's already unscrewed, but originally it's fixed by these two screws, and there's a ball joint here inside. So you just have to unscrew it here and then pop out the ball joint here. You will need a little bit of force there. So then you have the reflector. There are some parts that you will need to use, these and this and this one. So take this out, and I need to take out this. And then you're done with the reflector. So, and this is the new bracket which will mount the new projectors. So what we'll do first is we'll mount the projectors here on the bracket, and then we'll add the hardware to mount it in the headlight again, and then we'll put it back in the housing. So first let's get the projector. These are mini H1 projectors, which means that they use H1 bulbs. These are bi-xenon, so low and high beam, so it means you'll have double low beam and double high beam. So this is how you can put the projector in there. You have to add some nuts. They will work as spacers. So we have these screws. We'll do 4, but first we'll start with 2. I have here a shroud. This customer requested black shrouds. We have them in chrome available as well. They will go over the projector. There it goes. Second one. Right, that's 2. Then there comes number 3. sure the wires, the bi-xenon wires, are not stuck between the bracket and the projector. Guide them here. Spread it like this. And the last screw for this projector. So this will not come off anymore. So now it's the same procedure for the second projector. Yeah. Right, there we go. Now this piece goes in here. This one will go in there. And this will mount like this. There we are. So this is the projector assembly. Now it's ready to mount inside the headlight. Post the ball joint first. We really need to use some force there. There it goes. Moving around helps a little bit. Ik kan me heel pauzeren. So these adjusters are for the vertical adjustment, so left and right, and horizontal adjustment, so up and down. It's a bit too much to the left now. So yeah, that's it. Now before we close the headlight, we need to clean the projectors, clean the fingerprints off, make sure there's no dust. We'll use some high pressure air, pressurized air, to remove the last small dust particles. And then actually the headlight is ready to be closed again. We can put this back on, and then I'll show you how the wiring is connected. So we have made sure that all the fingerprints are gone. Dust, there's no dust anymore. Now just put the lens back on. There's more than enough butyl still left. If you open it carefully, then there's no need to add new butyl. So just put it on like this, and then we'll put it in our cardboard oven, which we have here. It's just a simple cardboard box, some small boxes in it. Put it upside down so the weight of the headlight will already push the ceiling onto push the housing onto the lens. Right, close it, then switch on the heat gun. This is the 300 degrees Celsius setting, so now we'll leave it here for about 15 minutes, and then the headlight will be sealed again and will be ready to go, and then I'll show you how to do the wiring. So first we'll install the bulbs. I'll show you how that's done. So take the bulb out of the packaging. Then put it in the projector, and there's this spring, it goes in like this. So there it is. Now there are some excess wires. These wires are not needed in this installation because we'll use a wire harness which draws the power directly from the battery, so I'll cut these off. And then of course you can install the second bulb. Then I'll get the ballast. Included are also a holder for the ballast, and there's double-sided tape, so you can stick this somewhere on the bike. In this specific kit we have included a wire harness which allows for installation of the ballast in the rear side of the bike, because around the headlight there's not enough space to mount these ballasts. So the wire harness which is included allows for installation of the ballast in the rear side of the bike. I'll show you how the connections need to be made. Two ballasts of course have to be installed because there are two bulbs. So the ballast will be installed on the rear side of the bike. You plug this in, and this needs to be connected to the chassis or ground of the bike. Then you'll need to connect these extension cables. And then this will be connected to the bulb. Then there's the high beam activation wires, the bi-xenon solenoid wires. These will be connected through these connectors. I'll not push them in all the way now because I need to disconnect it. So this will be this will be plugged into the high beam wires of the coming from the bike, and this is how the bi-xenon is activated. So if you activate the high beam, then the power will go to the solenoid system which is inside here, which will let the cutoff shields go down, and then the high beam is activated. Now let me show you how the wire harness is connected. So you have the ballast, this goes to ground. Of course there's a second ballast, also connect this to the ground. And then there's another plug, H7 plug. There are labels everywhere. It says input from bike. So this is the low beam input. So in your original setup, there's one is low beam, one is high beam. The low beam needs to be connected to the wire harness. The high beam needs to be connected to this splitter. So then there's one last connection to be made with the wire harness. This is the 12-volt power/battery connector. So this needs to be connected to the positive terminal of the battery on your bike. Then this is the relay which will be activated normally when you switch on your ignition, then immediately the lights will go, the low beam will go on. There's an optional time delay relay available with this kit, so you can replace this relay by time delay relay. This will make sure that when you switch on the ignition, there's a 10-second delay before the lights will switch on. Because if you normally if you would install it like this, then you will switch on the ignition, and then after 10 seconds, then you'll switch on the ignition, the lights will be on, and then when you start the bike, there will be a power drop which will switch off the lights. That's not the best thing to do constantly for these ballasts and bulbs. this will decrease lifetime. So if you install the 10-second time delay relay, then there will be a 10-second interval in which you can start the bike before the lights switch on. So you switch on the ignition and you start the bike, and then after 10 seconds the lights will be on. So that's another option that's available. Also, you can include breathing vents in case that you want to make sure you don't get moisture in your headlight. You can drill an extra hole and mount a breathing vent. That's another option that's available. It's not always necessary, but in case you want to be sure, you can order that. Then the last option is the position parking side light, however you call it. We'll put an LED in there. You just simply pull this one out, put the new one in, and then put it in there. If you have the LED, then it will have the same color as the low beam and high beam projectors, because this is the side light. So I've installed the headlight inside of the housing, so this is how it will look. Very nice, the black shrouds and this black headlight. Now the final step before we're completely finished is to install the rubber caps. The purpose here is to seal off the back of the headlight. So in order to install these, first we need to also let these wires go through these two openings, two little holes. So I need to disconnect to get these terminals out of the connector. Just press these tiny little metal flaps. In order to get them out. Back. Okay, so that's one, and that's two. Put the connector back on. One, two. Now we have the rubber cap, and we need to cut a hole in it. So this will be installed in there. So for that, you can use any circular metal thing with an outer diameter of about 26-27 millimeters. Just put the object on it like this. Then of course you need a sharp blade, so make sure it is sharp. It's brand new. So there you have it. Put the wires through the hole. And there you go. Now get the wires through. Right, so it's the same procedure on the other side, just to make sure that the headlight is completely sealed off so that no moisture can come in. And then you're done. Then the result will look like this. And this is the installation for the Kawasaki Z900 kit. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below the YouTube video or send us an email. Our details are on our website. So thanks for watching and see you next time.